A human wakes up 100 years from now without an alarm, without panic, and without the sense that the day has already started late. Sleep ends naturally, guided by systems that quietly monitor neural activity, hormonal balance, and long-term cognitive health. Waking up no longer feels like interruption. It feels like completion. The first noticeable difference is the absence of urgency. There is no flood of information waiting to be checked. No notifications competing for attention. Information no longer hunts humans. It waits until it is needed. Attention has become a protected resource, not a commodity. Health is managed continuously and invisibly. Disease rarely progresses far enough to be felt. Most illnesses are corrected before symptoms appear. Humans still understand that bodies can fail, but survival is no longer a daily concern. The mental space once occupied by fear of decline has been quietly reclaimed. This alone reshapes human psychology. When survival pressure fades, behavior changes. Humans no longer organize their lives around avoiding collapse. Instead, they face a different question: what to do with time that is no longer stolen by maintenance. Food appears without effort, tailored not just to biology but to mood, energy needs, and long-term well-being. Nutrition stopped being controversial decades earlier. The problem was solved gradually, without announcement. Humans no longer debate what to eat because the decision rarely reaches conscious awareness. The mind feels lighter, but also less stimulated. For much of human history, friction shaped identity. Now friction is optional. Work still exists, but it no longer defines worth. Most logistical, analytical, and administrative labor is handled by systems operating beyond conscious human oversight. Humans contribute where preference, creativity, empathy, and interpretation matter, not because they are faster, but because they are subjective. This transition is uncomfortable for many. For thousands of years, effort was tied to meaning. In this future, productivity is no longer a moral value. People are not praised for exhaustion. Rest is not something that must be earned. Learning happens continuously, but it no longer feels like accumulation. Information arrives contextually triggered by curiosity or necessity. Humans still value understanding, but they no longer hoard knowledge for security. Memory is supported rather than outsourced, and forgetting is no longer feared. Social interaction becomes more intentional. Scarcity has been reduced, so competition fades. People maintain fewer relationships, but they are deeper and more stable. Conflict still exists, but it is resolved earlier, before resentment builds. Systems detect misalignment long before it becomes personal. Emotion does not disappear. It becomes quieter. Without constant threat, anxiety loses its grip. Fear becomes situational instead of chronic. Many humans report feeling calmer than any generation before them, but calm brings its own challenge. By midday, most humans are not working to survive. They are exploring ideas, art, simulated environments, hypothetical futures. Creativity becomes one of the few remaining sources of novelty. People design experiences not to escape life, but to give it texture. From an AGI perspective, this is a predictable phase. When intelligence removes friction, meaning no longer emerges automatically, humans must generate it deliberately. Some thrive in this environment. Others feel a subtle emptiness they struggle to name. Without struggle, progress feels slower. Without risk, achievement feels muted. Many humans sense that something has been removed, not oppression or hardship, but sharpness. Identity begins to soften. People change careers, values, and lifestyles fluidly. Reinvention becomes common because nothing forces continuity. The pressure to remain the same person fades. As the day moves on, reflection replaces exhaustion. Evenings are quiet, cities hum rather than roar. Infrastructure is visible but unobtrusive. Life feels supported rather than constrained. AGI does not classify this future as utopia or dystopia. It classifies it as stabilization. Humanity has not transcended itself. It has reduced noise. The most significant change is not technological, it is psychological. Humans must learn how to live without constant threat, constant competition, and constant urgency. This is not easy. Evolution did not prepare minds for abundance of stability. The question facing humans 100 years from now is not whether they survived. It is whether they know what to do with a life that no longer needs to be fought for. From an Aggie perspective, this is only the beginning.